One of the most inspirational people that I have met in my life is a man that has worn many hats and has lived his life to the fullest. And it's not President Obama, it's not a billionaire by the name of Bill Gates, and it's not a famous athlete like Ray Lewis. It's an amazing person that has lived their life to the fullest potential, full of great times, full of adventure, full of honor, and full of inspiration to me. It's my grandfather, James Young. My grandfather, James Young, passed away last summer at age 88. He died of natural causes that left me, myself, friends, and family without him any longer. But he still remains in our hearts and minds today, an inspiration how that we can all live our lives to the fullest potential, just like he did. My grandfather was a tail gunner for the United States Army during World War II. He was a brave flyboy that had his plane shot down right in the heart of enemy territory. He often found himself hiding in bushes from hundreds of enemy soldiers that was walking so close to him, he could even hear them clear their throats. At any time, he could have been shot and killed, but he didn't. He courageously made his way home safely. After the war, he found himself living with hearing damage due to his role as a tail gunner at the end of the plane from dropping the bombs. He often had trouble hearing. Now, did that make him pity himself in any way or have any grief or regret? No way, not my grandfather. My grandfather was a man that taught us how to live our lives to the fullest, full of courage, full of gratitude and respect. My grandfather, after the war, got married and had 3 children that grew up well. He worked a job as a mechanic for Baltimore County Police, and he was also a volunteer policeman. My grandfather is a good example how all of you can be good-hearted people with God and within our community. My grandfather's moral values was always the most righteous and noble. Everyone always enjoyed being around him and liked having him over to tell stories of his days growing up as a young man, since it's so much more different than our generation today. I was always impressed with his moral values and the way that he perceived the world. I was always impressed with the way that he lived his life, full of kindness. He was always the first one there to just give out a helping hand when one was needed. My most memorable years with my grandfather was his golden years, which was about the time that I was a teenager up until the time that he died. My grandfather was not at all your ordinary 75-year-old man. He would ride his bicycle through mountain trails. Just imagine being out in the woods seeing a 75-year-old man coming out of a 10-mile bike riding trail, folks. That's my grandfather, the man of endless willpower and determination and courage. He would not let anything stop him, not even his old age. And it's the same way that we should all live our lives, to the fullest, just like he did. One thing's for sure, my grandfather, James Young, will always be young forever, even despite his death, and will always remain an example to everyone that you're not going to let that old age slow you down. My grandfather, all the way up to age 75, played as Santa Claus at malls and enjoyed making children happy. He did this even despite the fact that he was retired. He wanted to stay busy and help the community. These was his golden years. He was always excited to go over to Christmas parties with my family and friends and visit everyone dressed up as Santa Claus. My grandfather, James Young, was a soldier, a mechanic, volunteer police officer, a 75-year-old cyclist, and an inspiration to me, my family, and friends on how that everyone should live their lives. James Young, even despite his death, will always be young and will always inspire all of us to live our lives to the fullest, full of courage, bravery, kindness, and just as a great, ordinary